Okay, my name is Odette, and I've been interested in contributing to a better world. The better world looks like people talking to each other, sharing things, cooperating, and even living together. Where I live, there are just small houses, one next to each other, and every garden has their own trampoline, and the children never play there because they don't meet up, and there are no places to meet people. So there's only a road in front of the gardens, and I think that's a really sad world because we're social creatures and we need each other. And I want to support people who want to move into that direction. I've started CSA, Community Supported Agriculture, already, and we're feeding about 90 families already.
Where?
In Friedrichshafen. It's at Lake Constance in the south of Germany. And we are also planning to start a project where people can live together. We're hoping to find more people who want to take part in the project.
My name is NARA, I come from Slovenia. I represent my eco-village, Sunny Hill, and I also represent Let's Do It movement, which is doing World Cleanup on the 15th of September 2018. In the better world that's coming in a few years, in a few decades, we are going to live as communities of people. We are going to take care of our environment with heart, not just with our heads. And we are going to live luxurious simplicity, which is a concept of keeping our lives at the minimum of our needs, but making sure that this minimum is of the top quality. Top quality air, top quality water, top quality food, top quality communication. We are doing the World Cleanup, engaging 140 countries to come up and get as many people as possible on one single day to clean their environments, to pick up waste and take it to a place where it doesn't do any harm to the environment. In my everyday life, I get up in the morning and I spend a lot of time writing and typing and in correspondence with all these people around the world who are doing something for a better world. And at the same time, I'm living with my community and cooking, working in the garden, doing everyday stuff, chopping wood, heating. So it's a very diverse, dynamic life.
Okay, so my name is Nanti Charity Shabik, and I'm originally from South Africa, and now I live in Europe for the past 10 years between Spain and Croatia. And I am the co-founder of the Revivers of Indigenous Spirituality and Ecosystem Ubuntu Network, which is Rise Ubuntu Network. I am also an ambassador of GEN, and I'm also involved for the past 6 years with GEN Europe, GEN Africa, and GEN International. I'm here because I'm holding also a workshop on North-South healing and reconciliation, which I believe this is really my path, and the way I could contribute into making this world a better place is to bring awareness to people about unconscious racism, internalized racism, and how this is a system that was created falsely to separate us, and that only together, both Europeans, Africans, Asians, people from all over the world, that when we come together, that we can actually create a space of healing and reconciliation, a space of communication, creating dialogue, and that we actually have a lot to learn from each other. The most beautiful world that I know is possible for me is where people actually just converse in a most honest and deep way, where people connect from the heart and also from the mind, where people do things together and share their lives, and in a circle, going back to the ways of the circle, the days of the fire. I do hold circles. I call people into a circle for conversation and for sharing, And just by being myself, this also just brings awareness, because I'm mostly in European communities, and I feel that just by being me and following my path and my calling is this way that I'm contributing into creating this bridge of hope and healing between the North and the South.
Yeah, my name is Steffen Emmerich. I live in a GASTWERKE community, which is a community of 50 people close to Kassel in Germany. And I came to the Global Ecovillage conference because I live in an eco-village and because I'm very engaged in the community scene since a couple of years. So for me it means using the permaculture principle, fair share, earth care, people care. So take care about myself, take care of the people I work with, I live with. I live in a social just world. Take care of the environment, live in an environmentally sustainable way, but also in an economic sustainable way and social sustainable way. And feel and be responsible for the generations after me. In a way, I try to live a better world. We had this saying that communities are not an outcome, but that they're work in progress, basically. So I try to do my bit. In our community, for example, we share our money. So we 25 adults, 15 kids and some volunteers with different income. But this is not fair in our world. We should have access all to the same resources and opportunities. So why should I have more money than others I live together with? So we have like one pocket where all the money goes in, and we take out what we need. And if we don't have enough, we share, we see together what's needed most. And if we have enough, we live in abundance. That means sharing our resources. Why, on heaven's sake, shall I have my own washing machine, my own driller, my own, I don't know what, car, etc. If I can share it? I only need it once in a while. And so we share our cars, we share our washing machines, we share our kitchen, we share pretty much everything. Well, I do have private stuff as well, but I share as much as possible and not overusing other people's resources or the world's resources.
And the private stuff gets bought also from the communal budget?
Sure, I don't have private money anymore. Well, I think the most important is to start with myself, so to try really to walk my talk. I do that as good as possible. I'm far away from being perfect. So live this lifestyle is part of it. And then being engaged in my more professional career in supporting a better world. In my case, that means on one side, like with 50%, I try to set up a sustainable educational center in our place, which is very different to normal education centers, as we only have compost toilets. We only live in or teach in the outside. We only use renewable energies, etc. in this conference setting. On the other side, I'm a development aid worker, and I try to support as good as I can initiatives in other parts of the world.
I'm REELIKA, and I am here to kind of just because of my impulse to see what this place allows and what is possible here, and to just see if there is something inspiring. I just felt like it. The world where I would like to live in would be where basically what I'm trying to be myself, and what I would really invite everybody for would be to really connect with ourselves and what surrounds us, all the living beings and less living beings. And I think that would bring us down to some more peaceful state of actually using our capacity to sense what we can sense and do what we want to do, and the capacity to communicate. In my everyday life, I am going for my impulses and for my ideas that support this idea. For example, I have a gift shop. I opened a gift shop just to do the simple things that would make people see that there are ways possible. And also, I haven't worked one day in my life on a regular job. Also, just living myself in the vision that I would like everybody to be, and to stay connected and in peace and empowered and clear with what they are and what they want to be and where and with who and how. And I think my main thing would be to be it and inspire that to happen.
My name's Clinton Callahan. I've been delivering some workshops that are contexted in possibility management. They're initiatory processes that allow people to take more responsibility and be more conscious and have a better life. I see a planet populated by nanonations, which are independent yet interrelated, self-generated game worlds. People are building game worlds that they want to live in. And most of them have at their center adulthood initiatory processes where people get to grow up and actually become their potential in action and serve the villages. I wake up in the morning and I get my center, my grounding cord, and my bubble. And then I make one more cube, which is bigger than the entire planet Earth. And I call in the bright principle of respect. And I take responsibility for contexting the entire events of the world in the bright principle of respect. And it turns out that the way I serve that is by delivering initiatory processes for groups and individuals.
My name is Kosha and I work as the Executive Director of the Global Ecovillage Network. Well, I imagine people and communities around the world that really understand that we are co-creating our world, that we can co-create our world, and that come together to look at what are our dreams for the most beautiful world that we know is possible, and how can we realize these dreams. And we see in the Ecovillage Network that communities that do that start regenerating the systems that they're a part of, within and without. So regenerating ecological, social, cultural, and economic systems that we are a part of. So they become like healing impulses. And these impulses for regeneration can travel around the planet, with one community inspiring the next, one individual inspiring the next. So my dream is of a planet of citizens who firstly understand that we are one world, that nobody can find the solutions alone, and secondly, that we can actually co-create the world we know is possible. So one thing is, I hear what is happening in communities around the globe, not through the news, but through my friends. So I listen to what is happening when a typhoon hits the Philippines, when the floods hit Bangladesh, when the droughts hit Zimbabwe, when mudslides hit Colombia. It's not a faraway news, it's a news in my heart. I practice staying connected to the world. And another aspect is traveling around the world and inspiring people, sharing hope, seeds of hope, and sharing solutions from one community to the next, crystallizing the DNA of the Ecovillage Network and bringing that to governments, to organizations, spreading it. And then also there's just the simple everyday work of staying in communication, because information flow today needs technology. So I also need to answer some emails and make some phone calls. I do a lot of Zoom calls where I meet with people around the world. So if I'm not on a mission on the ground somewhere in the Amazon or in Armenia or in Africa, or in an eco-village in Europe, USA, I often sit at my computer.
Okay, thank you so much.